Welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about agriculture in India and growing of food crops in India. The first crop that we will be discussing about is rice, which is the staple food of India. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. China is the first and the leading producer of rice. So 90% of the world's production of rice comes directly from India as well as China. Rice is cultivated throughout in all states of India, whether they are river valleys, whether they are coastal plains, whether they are the delta regions. So, wherever there is water available, rice is cultivated. Mainly, rice producing states are Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Assam, and Maharashtra. According to a recent study of 2022, the largest rice producing state of India is West Bengal because half of its arable land is under rice cultivation. Arable land is the land which is under agriculture or crop cultivation. Rice in the north is actually kharif crop. Kharif is summer crop, and in the south it can be cultivated throughout the year if irrigation is available, because in the south the temperatures are higher as compared to the north. Now let's talk about the geographical requirements of cultivating rice. Temperature wise, rice needs warm temperatures as they are kharif crops. So during the early growing stages, they require temperature of around 16 to 20 degrees centigrade, that is moderate temperature. And when the ripening stage occurs, the temperatures become 18 to 32 degrees, which means they require higher temperatures during the ripening season. Bright sunshine as well as water is required for rice cultivation. Rice needs abundant of rainfall, and the rainfall should be between 150 to 300 centimeters. That is very high amounts of rainfall throughout its growing season. It can grow in areas with less rainfall only if irrigation is available. In the first few weeks, when the seeds are sown in the fields need to be flooded with water. Then frequent showers are required when the rice is ripening. Rice is grown in various soils, but the best soil which is suited is alluvial soil, which has been brought down by the rivers and is very fertile, with also impervious clay. Now, impervious subsoil or impervious clay means the soil which does not allow or prevent water from draining away and allows water to stagnate in the field and flooding the fields. That means a soil which can hold a lot of water. That is why rice grows best in West Bengal. Rice is also grown on the hill slopes where there is terrace farming practiced. They are grown in high mountains of Kashmir as well as Himachal Pradesh. Let's talk a little bit about terrace farming. Terrace farming is a method of farming where steps are basically made on the hill slopes, and these steps are known as terraces, which prevents water from escaping and preventing soil erosion. Three crops of rice is grown in a year. The first is Os, that is autumn crop, which is sown in May and June and harvested in September and October. The second is Aman, which is winter rice crop, which is mostly crop which is grown in between June and July and harvested in November and December. The third crop is Boro, which is summer crop, which is grown in the low-lying marshy lands of poor quality, and they are sown in November and December and harvested in March and April. Let's talk briefly about how rice is cultivated. The first process is sowing, where the seeds are sown by three methods: broadcasting method, dibbling method, and drilling method. In broadcasting method, the seeds are just scattered by hands all over the field. In dibbling method, they are dropped at regular intervals by plowers. Dibbling method is mostly used in northern plains. The third one is the drilling method, where the seeds are dropped by shafts of bamboos which is attached to a plow. This method is made so that the seeds directly fall into the furrows or the holes which are made into the soil. Second method is transplanting the rice from the nurseries to the fields. So seedlings are first sown in the nurseries which are soaked in water, flooded with water for 24 hours. The paddy plants are then kept under the water. After about 5 or 6 weeks, when the paddy is grown about 15 to 20 centimeters, they are uprooted by hand and then they are tied in bundles and they are transplanted to the paddy fields, which are again flooded with water. Third is harvesting, which is again carried out by hand. When the crop is ripened, it is harvested and allowed to dry in the fields for 3 to 4 days. Then it is threshed by hand by beating the paddy heads hard against hard rock. Now, rice, which is with husk, is known as paddy. Threshing of rice involves separating grains from the panicles without removing husk. After threshing, the grains are then polished to make them look more attractive and improve their quality. Now, polishing of rice can reduce their nutritive value by destroying most of the vitamins which are found in the outer layers. So, the rice they become from brown to white in color. Now, let's talk about the wheat cultivation of India. So, India is the fourth largest producer of wheat in the world after Russia, USA, and China. After rice, wheat is also very important or staple food crop of India. In certain parts of India like Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh, it is the major staple crop or cereal. Wheat is a temperate crop and is cultivated especially in winters. So it is a rabi crop in India. The difference between rice and wheat is that rice is kharif whereas wheat is rabi crop. Rice needs high temperatures to grow whereas wheat needs very cool and temperate temperatures to grow. Then rice needs heavy rainfall and flooded fields whereas wheat requires moderate conditions because heavy and flooded fields can damage the crops. So it requires slightly moist temperatures. Areas of production of wheat. 70% of the total wheat produced in India comes from the states of Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and some other states of wheat producing. Uttar Pradesh is the largest wheat producing state of India as it receives rainfall between 20 to 100 centimeters annually, which is very useful and especially during the monsoon season. In winter, wheat is cultivated with an average rainfall of 3 to 7 centimeters. In those areas where there is less rainfall, wheat cultivation is possible through irrigation. The quality of wheat grown in the drier regions is superior to that cultivated in more wet parts of India. Geographical requirements for wheat cultivation. Wheat grows well in those regions which has got cooler, temperate climatic conditions. It requires a moist climate with fertile soil, grows very well in alluvial soil with moderate rainfall. The temperature requirement is between 10 degrees centigrade to 15 degrees centigrade in the growing season and 25 degrees centigrade to 28 degrees centigrade at the time of ripening. It is sown in October and November and harvested in March. So it is a winter crop. The rainfall requirement is between 50 to 100 centimeter during the growing season. Much rainfall is harmful to the crop as it causes mild dew. Wheat grows well in well drained soil which does not hold too much of water, which holds some amount of lime. It grows well in the loamy soil of Ganga Plains and the black soil of Deccan Plateau. Nitrogen fixation of soil is highly useful for the growth of wheat cultivation by growing leguminous plants in the soil. Wheat is almost the first crop that was grown in the prehistorical times. It is believed to have been grown around 7000 BC, when human beings took the first step towards agriculture. It is believed to have been the origin of farming because before that, early man was a hunter and used to follow animals like deer, rabbits in order to obtain food. And then they discovered a wild plant that was called as wheat. Wheat is basically wild grass which has a grain or a fruit that can be grounded to make bread. So wheat became a very important crop in the prehistorical time. Millets are a common name which is given to several species of grains of grass family. They involve jowar, bajra and ragi in India. So grains are basically a very useful food for human beings and the leaves and the stalk is used as a fodder for the livestock. Millets require high temperatures between 27 to 30 degrees centigrade. They can survive in lower rainfall. They are also called as dry crops as they do not require much rainfall and they can also grow in dry conditions. They are mostly cultivated in the drier parts of Gujarat, Rajasthan and Deccan Plateau. And ragi is an important crop of the south in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh.